The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello everyone, my name is Jolene Schaefer and I'm the Marketing Coordinator for SWK Technologies. I'd like to welcome you to our webinar, Accelerate Your Productivity, Taking Advantage of Collaboration through Microsoft 365, presented by Eric Ruppert of SWK Technologies. A little housekeeping before we get started. Everyone has been placed on mute to keep the background noise down. However, you can submit any questions you have throughout the webinar. To submit a question, look for the questions section in your GoToWebinar. We will answer all questions at the end of the presentation. We are recording this presentation and it will be distributed tomorrow to all attendees as well as to those who registered but were not able to attend. Please take a moment during the presentation to answer our 2 poll questions. And as a reminder, our 2021 SWK Virtual Empower Conference is coming up on May 4th through 6th. Be sure to register to learn how to get the most out of your Sage ERP. The registration link will be sent in the webinar follow-up email, and I'll include it in the webinar chat. With that said, we appreciate you taking time out of your busy day to attend our webinar. We're here to help you get the most out of your software solutions and help you find an easier way to run your business by providing you software and industry knowledge, tools, and support whenever you need it. So whether you're here doing research for a new solution or you're just here to learn, we'd like to encourage you to ask any questions throughout the webinar. Lastly, as a quick reminder, SWK is constantly sharing important updates and software tips and tricks on our social media channels. So we encourage you to follow us on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Without further ado, I'll hand it over to Eric.
Thank you so much, Jolene. Thank you once again, everybody, for joining our second session in our M365 webinar series. To start off today, I'll be going through a quick overview of the agenda that we'll be touching on throughout the presentation. We'll start with a Microsoft 365 collaboration overview, understanding some of those key tools that are inside of the collaboration platform. We'll jump through the value proposition of those tools for your organization, the interconnectivity of the platforms through SharePoint on the back end, and we'll take a deep dive into Teams and round it out with Microsoft Voice that layers on top of Teams. Finally, we'll be doing a short demo on the usage of Microsoft Teams as a voice platform, and then have a brief poll at the end. Once again, I'm Eric Ruppert, the Senior Solutions Architect with SWK Technologies Managed Cloud Services Division. We are here to help, so please feel free to reach out with any questions. My email is there on the slide. Quick overview of SWK Technologies. We're a nationally recognized MSP and solutions provider in North America. We have nationwide coverage, leveraging our over 170 employees to delight our customers and enable success. Without further ado, let's get started. Microsoft 365's collaboration ecosystem has several fantastic tools for managing collaboration in your organization that can both enhance productivity and ease your day-to-day job. In a remote world, that ease of collaboration is top of mind. Taking advantage of the tools, including the M365 bundles, such as Teams, OneDrive, SharePoint, Planner, To-Do, all enable this 365 system to work together seamlessly. These tools create a total business productivity platform, enabling chat, calls, inside and outside of the organization, file sharing with simultaneous editing and review, and easy-to-use tools that accelerate productivity throughout the organization. As these platforms interact, all of that information is captured, consolidated for ease of access, control, corporate governance, or data loss prevention, depending on your needs and specific business use case. As the tools are constantly being built out by Microsoft, additions are added, such as Microsoft Viva or My Analytics, that enable deep insight into your work in Teams, SharePoint, Outlook, OneDrive, and more, that create integrations to boost productivity and increase organizational transparency. Microsoft isn't showing signs of slowing down with new features and platform enhancements, and we don't think that's going to change anytime soon. We'll jump in and discuss OneDrive, SharePoint, and deep dive into that Teams as a Microsoft Voice business platform. And if you have any questions, please feel free to use the chat. OneDrive is the foundational layer that the Windows operating system uses to enable cloud storage and collaboration within and between departments. It's a natural competitor for Box or Dropbox or Google Drive. It provides up to 1 terabyte of storage for each and every user that you have in the Office 365 ecosystem, along with storage for those workstation files. With integrations that layer on top of default folders, such as your downloads, documents, pictures, and videos, OneDrive enables remote access for all of those files stored on a user's profile and creates a pseudo replacement for a traditional roaming profile inside of the Microsoft file shares infrastructure that predates it. This enables a user to log in from their mobile device or another workstation and having near instant access to those documents from anywhere in the world. Those stored files are editable through the mobile or web or thick clients on any machine. So you're able to log into your Office 365 account and edit a PDF from your Android or iOS device, for instance. By leveraging that online version of the Office suite, files are rendered exactly as they are on your local machine across the board. With simple link sharing mechanisms, you can share that full file without needing to send the full file between employees. It makes it a rare necessity to share that full file while allowing a team to collaboratively edit that same file at the same time while leaving notes and reviews for the primary user. Leveraging that integration between OneDrive, Office Online, the desktop suite, and SharePoint, teams can quickly, effectively, and remotely collaborate on projects and initiatives. The sync client built into OneDrive can also allow for a very similar experience to a local file share. It provides a side view of a file site inside of SharePoint that looks very similar to a U drive or an M drive that a company may have today. With OneDrive in mind, we can discuss SharePoint as the connectivity between the two platforms is very robust and usable for any organization, and it can allow an organization to evolve, if it hasn't already, into a cloud-centric strategy. SharePoint provides a strategic, multi-layered solution for document management and sharing in the cloud. With 1 terabyte of free provided storage already on top of your Microsoft 365 licensing, many organizations are able to quickly and safely migrate files to the cloud with some caveats. Deep permissions, ACLs, and controls are available to administrators on SharePoint, allowing granular access permissions on Microsoft 365 security groups. By migrating those traditional file shares into a SharePoint site, you're able to leverage the OneDrive sync client that we mentioned before, which provides that very familiar network share feel, as seen in the photos on the slide there. Sites can be created and managed from Teams, which we'll touch on shortly, or directly through SharePoint. As organizations grow, SharePoint can grow with them, allowing for internal websites, robust navigation integrations, integrations to Sage or other third-party line of business applications through queries, and native integration to the rest of the Microsoft 365 suite of services. By enabling that various growth of systems, typical needs can be accomplished for most organizations without needing a robust secondary intranet solution. One of the biggest points of confusion that we see for anyone entering the M365 ecosystem is the interaction between collaborative tools. As seen here, OneDrive and SharePoint can allow you to integrate those sites directly to the Windows File Explorer, as we had mentioned before, while enabling fast link sharing and document collaboration in a cloud-centric environment, enabling those users to leverage SharePoint as their file repository and a company data share. Many companies can remove that need for the in-house file shares. From SharePoint to OneDrive, you have the ability to instantly share files directly to Teams, which allows access and editing of those same files, in the desktop or the Office Online applications. Teams provides a front-end hub for users to access their core business applications and their data inside of an organization. This allows for a robust approach to Office file manipulation, such as Word documents, Excel documents, and PowerPoints. And this works in companies of all sizes while providing granular permissions, access control, and the ability to audit and provide compliance policies right on top inside of Teams or SharePoint on the back end. When we're talking about collaboration in Microsoft 365, Teams is key to that discussion. Even companies leveraging other platforms for voice or meetings or chatting can typically find immense value in the Teams platform as a source of centralized application management, sharing of information, and integration with other third-party SaaS or cloud applications. Teams acts as a centralized hub of teamwork within an organization. Built on its robust chat-based workspaces, direct integrations to Outlook and the Office Online suite, Teams creates a streamlined solution that can be used to stay connected with your colleagues. Instant meetings are usable for voice or video chatting, and these basic building blocks allow teams of any size to effectively and strategically collaborate on projects and tasks. The art of creating functional and strategic teams for your organization is a skill honed over time, and there's no one-size-fits-all answer for all companies. There are some best practices and suggestions that leaders in an organization need to weigh against the structure and culture to determine a best fit for their organization. Even something as simple as using Teams versus chats for announcing changes or initiatives can have a ripple effect on the perception of that communication. Teams also features native screen and window sharing capabilities to allow coworkers and managers to quickly collaborate in real time remotely to see where there's a change needed on a project, or to demonstrate a diagram, for instance, to the group at large to explain a complex, multi-dimensioned concept. These benefits can be widespread as you adopt Teams, but that adoption can sometimes be slower than expected. It might require buy-in and persistent effort from management to enact such a sweeping change. One of the easiest ways that we find to speed that adoption is through the implementation of the Microsoft Business Voice platform. Microsoft has recently released a more streamlined solution for implementing voice over IP into Teams without worrying about convoluted licensing. With the introduction of the Business Voice plan, there's no need to debate whether you need a Microsoft E5 or separate phone systems, dial plans, and audio conferencing licensing, which some people in the call today may be familiar with. This all-in-one bundle with a list price of $20 per user is an incredibly competitive audio conferencing, voice over IP, and meeting platform that provides you a wide array of business-ready features. While the Business Voice package doesn't scale to a very large business, it does allow up to 300 users to implement VoIP without the added complexity of another vendor. As we mentioned previously, rolling voice into Teams can drive adoption of Teams in general, as you're now working out of the platform for a core business function. Once users begin to see that usefulness, adoption becomes effortless. The business will reach a critical mass of adoption, and users simply can't avoid the platform day to day. Once the organization is heavily integrated, announcements and new tools can be rolled out with minimal effort, and everyone can be on the same page instantly. They can reach out for direct assistance using tags to request help from groups of people. You can schedule meetings, gain access to training resources. HR and the organization can simply and effectively create a home for all of the resources you need to onboard a new employee, for instance. It becomes a simple click of a button to add a user to a team, and now self-discovery kicks in, and that user is encouraged through the simplicity of the user interface to find out more. This reduces initial requests on HR and management and opens for more time for more strategic initiatives in those groups. So why Teams voice over another VoIP solution? We spoke to this some with the integrations and adoptions of Teams as a platform, but another key reason is the affordability of the platform over traditional UCaaS or unified communications as a service platforms. Microsoft knows it has a unique market segment in being an established entity in a large pool of businesses of all sizes. This places them in a unique position to make VoIP a value add instead of a separate bill for companies. There's a similar strategy that you see with ISPs across the nation, where they bundle internet, phone, and TV, for instance. But at that point, even plain old telephone services can't compete with $20 a month in most cases. Another massive benefit is how simple the process is for rolling VoIP onto the platform. With it being streamlined with a very intuitive UX, there's not many places for things to go wrong, and that can reduce your average time spent on support day by day, week by week. Reduces the learning curve and has a robust and extensive training regiment on the back end. Companies across the world have realized these benefits, and VoIP is just the tip of the iceberg that Teams can provide for productivity. One other piece that we wanted to touch on for Teams and the Microsoft 365 platform is the ability to provide deep analytical insights into the habits of all teams, reports, and even yourself to judge how you're using your time and how you might be able to improve yourself or your reports habits. One of the exciting new products for much larger organizations that enables operational analytics natively on the platform is Microsoft Viva, seen on the right. Viva provides a platform of insight into a business's habits, teamwork, effectiveness, training, and engagement across all employees. This system has sweeping benefits where intimate familiarity of employees may be impossible. You can now see how the organization at large is doing. It allows a rolled up view into overall engagement by direct report, department, and allows for strategic initiatives to highlight and enact changes through top-down assignment. The analytic engine is available throughout the Microsoft 365 platform with all layers of reporting, allowing a company to do analysis of adoption, power users, productivity, or just trends that are happening inside of the adoption of Microsoft 365. Now with that, we'll move into our demo for today. We'll be providing a quick demonstration of the Microsoft 365 Business Voice solution inside of Teams. So I have here a demo set up. We're going to be looking at Microsoft Teams through the lens of Megan Bowen. She's the operations manager at Contoso Electronics, a mid-size wholesale distributor and reseller of electronics through its website. Megan uses Microsoft 365 Voice, Office 365, and Teams as an all-in-one productivity solution for her team at Contoso. Microsoft 365 is built for productivity. It's a single application for calling, meeting, and messaging through Teams. Megan starts her day in the Microsoft Teams desktop app. This brings all of Megan's team-based work together in one place, saving her time and increasing her productivity. From Teams, she can call from anywhere on any device. She works across multiple devices. Microsoft 365 Business Voice makes it easy to communicate across all of those devices, her laptop, smartphone, or a Teams-certified desk phone device. Within Teams, Megan can get caught up on her missed calls, voicemails, and make a quick call with Microsoft 365 Business Voice. In the speed dial section, Megan can see suggested and frequent contacts. her phone numbers, and even create groups. Megan is going to make a quick call to her customer to remind her that they should expect a consultation request from her during their customer call later. The contact section is where Megan can see all of her Contoso and external contacts. Megan can receive and make calls from all of her colleagues. Megan also notices, looks like we had a quick miss in calling Aubrey there. We'll dismiss that. We can also check through her voicemails and see that she has missed calls from Adele, Lydia, Irvine, and Diego. Megan has an upcoming meeting to discuss a purchase order with a customer. Megan can answer incoming calls on any of her devices, including directly with the app on her desktop. With Business Voice, Megan gets intelligent caller ID. Megan needs to consult with one of her colleagues, Joanna, and will then transfer the customer. To do this, Megan would click on More Actions inside of the call. Unfortunately, the call today is not working as expected, so we will have to place that one on a siesta. While on her way to the next meeting, however, Megan wants to quickly catch up with her customers to see how the call went with Joanna. Megan uses the Teams mobile app on the go. By simply clicking on a contact, she's able to quickly make a call from her mobile device, just like she would in the app on the desktop or the web. Seeing recent calls in the History tab, she's able to see that she had previously called Aubrey Smith. Another way that Megan likes to stay on top of her day is through Outlook. Joining ad hoc calls and scheduling meetings is made very easy through Outlook, saving Megan time throughout her day. For some calls, they need a dial-in bridge so that they can have flexibility to join the meeting at any time. Here, we'll see that there are a number of project calls already scheduled. By going in and modifying the purchase order meeting that we have here, we'll do our all hands company meeting. We'll be able to see that this occurs every Wednesday from 8:30 to 11 o'clock. By adding in a dial-in number, we're able to enhance this meeting for everyone to join as well. All we have to do to add that dial-in number is add a Teams meeting directly to the invite and click send. Additionally, there's a lot of flexibility with the integration between Outlooks and Teams by integrating with the people or contacts inside of Outlook directly from Teams. Microsoft 365 Business syncs all of your information across all of the Office 365 apps. Here you can see customer contacts, organizational contact information, LinkedIn, and membership information. You can select Alex Wilbur here and see that Alex has all of his information contained inside of this About Alex Wilbur tab. Like Megan had seen before, the flexibility to work across Office apps allows you to work how you want, keeping the efficiency without the need to constantly context switch between applications. Here we'll add a new contact just to show that process and how easy it is. Here I'm adding a contact for Richard Reisman of Litware. Richard is a new contact that Megan has just been invited to. When we create that contact, you can be sure that it syncs between all of the Office 365 applications. So when we come back to Teams, we can see that Richard will now be added into the Teams application to allow that quick contact sync between all users across the board. So here we're refreshing just to get those contacts to finish up and sync. And then you can see your Outlook and your Teams are instantly in sync. It's also a new feature of Microsoft Teams that AI-powered transcription is available for voicemails from any device inside of your Outlook directly from your inbox. By going back to the Outlook tab, we're able to see a voicemail from Lydia. The AI-powered transcription is able to quickly convert that voicemail into a text message so that you don't have to listen through the voicemail and trog through having your audio on essentially in public. Here she says, "Hey Megan, it was good catching up last week. Let's make a plan to triage the work next week." At Contoso, employees choose where and how they want to work with devices designed for any space and working style, so they can choose what works best for them, regardless of the platform. And with that, we end our demo for the Microsoft Teams application. I apologize for the technical difficulties on showing that voice calling feature, but I ensure that it is a very robust platform that provides you all of the transfer and collaboration tools that you need.
Thank you so much, Eric. We'll now open it up for questions. If you have any questions, please enter them into the questions section of GoToWebinar. And just a reminder, everyone, we do have a subject matter expert here. This is a great opportunity to have your questions answered in real time. We did have a couple questions come in during the demo, Eric. The first being, do SharePoint, OneDrive, and Teams come with M365 or are they additional add-ons?
All three are included with the Business Basics license from Microsoft 365, which is the lowest tier of license that you can acquire in the Microsoft 365 ecosystem.
Is Teams calling different from Microsoft Voice?
They are not. Microsoft Voice is a bundled solution for acquiring Teams calling. It is a license on the back end to give you that capability and capacity, while the Teams calling is the actual functionality you're receiving.
Can you use Teams calling if you do not have Microsoft Voice?
Without Microsoft Voice, you would need to acquire the calling plan and the phone system on the back end in order to provide Teams calling to your users.
And we have one more. You showed new contacts created in Outlook auto-synced with Teams in the demo. Is it the same in the other direction, i.e. new Teams contact auto-synced to Outlook?
It is. They do sync back and forth.
And that looks like all the questions we have.
Excellent. So coming through, I did want to note that we have a special promotion going on. So if you have Microsoft 365 or Office today, feel free to reach out. We can see if we can save you up to 5% on those subscriptions month over month. And then Jolene, I believe, has a poll for us.
I do. Let me launch that real quick. Please answer the poll question that appears on your screen. What would you be interested in learning about in future Microsoft 365 webinars? The different applications, maintaining compliance, security features, or other? We'll give that just another minute. Okay. We had a pretty even split between the different applications and security features requests.
Fantastic. And I believe we have one more poll.
We launched that. We'd like to know if you'd like to be contacted for more information. If you'd like to learn how you can save 5% on Microsoft 365, if you'd like to learn about Microsoft 365's collaboration tools, if you'd like to learn more about managed cloud services, if you'd like to be contacted in 3 months, or you're just here to learn. We'll give that one more minute or two. Perfect. And we'll follow up with those of you who've requested to be contacted.
Thank you so much. And once again, we do have our SWK Virtual Empower happening next week, May 4th to 6th. Please feel free to come. MCS, or Managed Cloud Services, will be presenting on Empower Collaboration through M365. You're not immune, understanding and defeating today's cybersecurity risks and demystifying the world of IT. If you have any questions for us, please feel free to forward them over to info@swktech.com. And then Jolene, you had anything else?
Yes, we actually had one more question come through. How is the quality of MS Voice?
I find the quality to be very, very positive, very robust across the board. We have few complaints on our customers that use MS Voice, very similar to other large providers in the industry.
And they responded back, they meant MS Webinar. Apologies.
Microsoft Webinar Platform, so using Teams as a webinar platform?
I believe so.
Okay, that would be a more infancy solution than the pure voice solution from Microsoft, but it is powerful and has the ability to provide large groups, a streamed multicast solution that's buffered through Microsoft's content delivery network across the board. So it has a lot of robust scalability for nationwide events that you might need to provide for.
Perfect, and that looks like all the questions we have, so give me 1 minute as I take back screen control. Perfect. Thank you so much, Eric, for your informative presentation and for taking the time to be here today. For more information on Microsoft 365's capabilities, please reach out to your SWK account manager or to Eric's team for additional information. And as a final reminder, don't forget to register for Virtual Empower to learn how to extend the value of your Sage ERP on May 4th through 6th. The registration link will be included in the webinar follow-up email. Thank you everyone for attending our webinar. Have a wonderful rest of your day.